Hey, what's going on? This is Ipe. Today I'm going to show you guys a GMB optimization hack that was shared by one of our students, Bo. By the way, I'm at my mentor Dan's house right now. He has a pretty nice backyard right here in Las Vegas. Got that pool. It's an outback house. This is one of the hacks that we're going to share with you guys. Is about image optimization. We've all kind of heard it before, but he goes a little bit more in depth. There's other hacks that we obviously share inside our program. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this quick little hack.
I got some stuff about GMB.
I interrupted him.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good.
Yeah. Wasn't it? So it's like the geotag stuff.
Oh yeah, we got I can go over geotag stuff. I can show you how to do Google direction requests without making an API account, which you actually have to pay for. I mean, I spent like 10 hours trying to do this shit myself. Excuse me, by the way. But after the 10-hour day, I just hit up my buddy. I'm like, yo, can I just drop some money and you teach me this stuff? Like, can you just teach me tomorrow? And it was like 2-3 hours. And we went over it.
Give me like top things then that you want to do for every GMB, like bare minimum.
Top things that I would 100% suggest, and I'll just go over here and I'll share it. I'm just gonna dilute my secrets here, share screen. I'm just gonna give you, the Krabby Patty secret formula right here. Can y'all see my screen? So what I want to kind of like go over here is, number one is geotagging your images. So when you guys are publishing your information onto Google and getting it up into your GMB and into your website, alt text, that's 10 years ago SEO stuff. That's just literally broadcasting what the text is on your website. But are we really formatting what our pictures are? So like, what is geotagging, a photo? Geotagging a photo is basically just listing your geolocation, your longitude and latitude in your photos. So like right here, this is the software that I use. It's called Geo Imager. And so let's see here, drag photos here. Let's just do one. Desktop, current lead gen clients. Let's go to Venture Chiropractic, my chiropractor, right? So boom. For $10 a month, you can do ENTUR chiropractic. Perfect. So you can actually pull up where the business is. If you don't, you actually have to do this by yourself, right? You actually have to pull up the latitude and longitude, which you can get your Google CID. We can go over that later. But this is so important. Why? Because look, these are the geotags. This is the keyword that you can add into the photo. And this is the description and the alt text. Boom, you gotta write the EXIF tags and then you download the file. Just doing this simple task is you're putting yourself above your competition 90% of the time. Why? Because 90% of the competition isn't doing this. And Google loves this stuff. Because why? Google has a section where they're literally, what is it? It's the news section, it's the images section, it's the search section, it's the sales section. They have so many sections on Google, right? Like you just Google something, Charlottesville, chiropractor. Sorry, I spelled that wrong. But look at all these, like maps, news, images, shopping. They have all these different sections. So why wouldn't you dominate every single section that you can, including YouTube, right? Sometimes even running an ad, like $20 on a YouTube. Look at this, my boom right there, boom right there. Like, it's no secret that this stuff works. You want to start dominating on all platforms of Google, so that way you can start dominating on maps. And yeah, running a $20 ad to get you, 500 views on your crappy little video, it builds so much merit with Google because nobody else is doing this. Yeah. So just going through and
image rankings, having unique images really help too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's going to increase the click-through rate of that image.
Absolutely. And this is like, this isn't like a super sexy client by any means. I mean, it's only an $800 a month client, but he provides my chiropractic care too. So like, he keeps me pain free, which makes me happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good deal for me. It's a good deal for him, and he's crushing it. So when you want to, when you geotag these images, you're basically telling Google, hey, in this area, my picture matters most. Why? Because I formatted it to matter most. Can you guys see like my photos? Like if I pull this up, can you see this right here?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of go in here and dive in. So when you download a picture, right, and you right click it and you go to properties, boom, right? We go to general, security, details, boom, look at this. We get to add a keyword into the title. We get to add a keyword into the subject. We get to rate the picture as it's a 5-star picture because nobody's doing this. And then let's just see, there wasn't any tags there, but there's some tags right here. Look, that's chiropractor in Charlottesville. Perfect. What's in the comment section? Venture Chiropractic, name, right? Address, right?
You put the NAP there. Yep, that's smart.
Phone number, yep. And then guess what? We go down here. Once it's geotagged, look at that, longitude and latitude. Listen, if this was just a normal picture, it wouldn't even show the longitude and latitude. It doesn't even have that option. You have to format that. But when you format that, I posted a couple weeks ago, I was like, if you guys aren't geotagging your pictures, you're missing out on some serious money because this guy is blowing up. Like, he's absolutely killing it now. And Google Maps is where we're killing it in because he was ranked like 2 months ago, he was ranked like 20th. He wasn't even ranked in Charlottesville. Now he's at like 5 or 4 and 3. You know, we're pushing up to, 2 and 1. It takes a little bit of time, to usurp those incumbents, but it is what it is. But this is the power of doing that stuff. You guys want to, you want to acquire, lead gens that have GMB rankings like this, just one straight across the board, right? That green is sexy, dude. You see red.
Shoot.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's nice.
That's beautiful, right? Like, I send this out on my emails, bro. Like, you want to start dominating in GMB. If I can do Orlando, I can do LA, I can do Dallas. It's just a matter of how much money you got. Let's make this work. So that's the power of like coming in here and just doing that little bit of extra. Like, getting that process down will take you, 2-3 hours. But once you get it down, it's just so easy. Because look, you can just go across the board right here, shift, and then right arrow. If you've never done it before, welcome to your first IT class. And then boom. Look, you gotta go to details, right? And then you gotta rate them. And then by
Wait,
any means.
are you on Windows?
I'm on Windows, yeah.
So
But,
like tags and all that other stuff, you can just right click individual images and go to the detail and then change it, right?
Yep. Yeah, like properties, boom, right there. And like adding your CID, and it is huge too. And like before this call, I put together, a nice little Microsoft Word spreadsheet. If you guys are interested in this, I mean, because like, look at this beautiful thing. This is the beautiful part about a CID, right? You gotta grab a code, and then you gotta go over here to Google, and then you gotta throw the code in there, and then guess what? You get a designated code for your GMB. That is,
okay, so CID is essentially like the URL of your GMB, right?
Yes. Yeah. And you see how it pulls up the exact same longitude and latitude data right there within that code. Boom.
Okay.
So that is huge. Like that's one thing that I don't see a lot of people doing. They just push their citations out, and they're just kind of hoping for the best, thinking like that's going to be enough. Like, hey, that's great. It was enough 10 years ago, but now we got to get innovative. We got to start redefining, how we're going to do this, because Google's getting smarter, but we're smart too. And like, you guys get the ongoing mentorship and coaching that we get to provide, which is this gold data right here. So I would 100% say.
How do you get that CID code?
So to get the CID code, you do a Google search.
Share?
You do a search in Google Maps for your business name, and make sure it's the only result that pops up. So let's go over here and we'll just do that right now. Boom. Let's go to Kemp Tile and Flooring. All right, well, actually, let's just do Venture and Chiropractic, Charlottesville, Virginia. All right, so you want to basically like search it as if like it was a brand name, right? Like, so that's the brand name. So this is this guy's, his chiropractic clinic. You got to replace the HTTP with view source in the URL search of your business. And this is kind of like where things get, a little technical. HTTP VIEWS or URCE view source, and it's gonna give you a long confusing, intimidating code that no one knows exactly what they're talking about, right? So then watch this. Then we do LUDOCID. And it should do it. Come on. Let's talk to you guys.
Can you not click the Google map listing and click share on it and get a link of that GMB? Like go hit share to the right.
Share.
Yeah.
This one right here, like share right here.
Is that?
Yeah,
is
you can
that?
get the G page.
Oh, that's the G page link. Okay,
It's
so
the
this
G
is
page.
different.
Yeah, it's like their short link, but actually getting like the source code is like a huge deal because you can enter in the source code as like a citation, like a social media citation on your citation. Like how it's like a social media booster. Okay, perfect. Like right here. Okay, you see LUDOCID, perfect, right there. So let's shift this over here. Come on, where'd you go? All right, so example of the CID equals the random number, right? 781680. And then after you get that, you combine the code above and your CID to get your Google My Business code. So you'll take this code right here, the HTTP google.com maps $CID equals, then you'll grab that number right there. And when you grab that number right there, it will actually give you your Google CID.
Right.
So boom, it like gives you your actual Google code for your Google My Business. Having this is so critical.
So do you just put this CID link on all your like citation places or anywhere that you can put a link kind of thing?
Yeah, so some citations will block you from, you'll be like, oh, this isn't Facebook, we can't do that. But some citations will be like, hey, if you have a blog, post your blog. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and then
right.
I throw the CID right there. So that was huge, you know, because when I was stuck at like, you know, being 10th or 8th or whatever the case may be for my GMB, I was like, man, I'm not getting any traction here. What do I got to do? The citations just aren't cutting it anymore. I have to like think outside the box. And when I started implementing this one strategy along with the next one that I'm, you know, going to show you guys, it took my game to the next level.
Okay, guys, hope you guys enjoyed that little hack. Google is a big data machine, right? So the more information, specific information you can load up on the images, it just separates you from the competition. So like this video is kind of getting long. So the next hack, I'm going to keep it brief, but it's about creating different directions and using different map coordinates from other maps. So I'm gonna give you a quick little sneak peek on that, and just to open your guys' mind on like all these different things that our students are doing that puts us ahead of the competition. And these are the small little things that other people aren't doing, and it's usually those little things that gets you ahead in the rankings.
So what do we do? Like if we have a GMB and it's not ranking as much as we want it to, or there's a specific part, you know, if we're using lead generated and there's a specific part of town that is just stubborn, you know what I'm saying, that it's just not ranking up, you know, the way it's supposed to. Everywhere else is ranking, but it's red there, you know what I'm saying? We can create direction requests. So if you just take, you know, different parts of the town that you're in, that your GMB is in, that your lead gen site's in, right? Let's just say if I was over near University of Virginia Hospital and I was struggling to rank in this area right here, how can we increase the rank right there? Well, submit a direction request. I know you guys, when you log into your GMB, what does the GMB show? It shows clicks, it shows calls, but what does it show that's gold? It's direction requests, because that shit's gold. You know what I'm saying? Like that is gold right there. That's why it's gold, because it's providing so much geo-relevant data that people are actually in your area and they're submitting direction requests to get to your lead gen. Perfect, right? So how do we go about doing this? How do we do that? So we take our, you know, if it's a client or if it's a, you know, your GMB has to actually be approved by Google at this point. So you have to do the due diligence to get your GMB approved. But like we go right here, let's just say we want to go to Barracks Road, right? Barracks Road. Come on, pull up. Charlottesville, Virginia. Perfect. All right, you see how there's a direction request leading right to this client right here, right? Boom. So normally you would have to create an API account to do this stuff, but there is a back door to this. So you go right up here, you get your direction request, to your lead gen, and then the spot where you want it to rank from. You go to menu, right? You come down here to share or embed map. Boom, you click that. And look, they stopped doing Google short links like a year ago or some months ago, like 8 months ago, right? They said, we're no longer gonna do Google short links. Like that's not a thing anymore. But look at this, boom. You can grab that Google Maps request, and that's a direction request, right? So anytime one of your citations that has this listed on it gets crawled, it's gonna count as a direction request in GMB. So boom, you pull it up right here, and look, Google Maps direction request, from Barracks Road, Charlottesville to Venture Chiropractic. That's the client site right there. Boom. All you gotta do is do this. Like, look at this. 10 or 15 times and your money. Like, this has helped me so much in ranking and cracking into those stubborn spots in the town that I'm trying to rank in that just aren't ranking really well. This has pushed me over the edge to allow me to hit that 1, 2, and 3 ranking when I've been struggling at that 10, 15, 20 ranking. You know what I'm saying? Citations just aren't going to cut it anymore. We got to kind of like
so a couple questions. So where do you post these links? Same thing, citation.
So I'll
places?
post these links. Yeah, I'll post them in citations. I do Web 2.0s, so like I'll go in and on Weebly, I'll make a sub account on Weebly, or it'll just be I'll pull one up right here. Like Google, how they have their business site. You know what I'm talking about, Sarah, Ipe?
Yeah.
How like Google, you can make a site on Google, right? You don't even need Weebly or whatever. So you can make a free site on Google, right? Boom, best chiropractor in Charlottesville, VA. I do a little description. And then right here, like I'll tag a keyword to my Google CID. Boom, you click that and I'll link it back to my CID. So Google loves this stuff, right? Because I'm just linking from Google to Google. Boom. And then right here, I'll submit that direction request just on this website, on Google's own website. As the name, the address, the phone number, and the URL.
I think another thing is you can create a page on your own lead gen site that's hidden from the menu, and we'll call it like best places that our company serves, and then create a decent article. Don't just stick all the links in there. Just create a decent article and sprinkle in those links inside that article, but just keep it hidden from the menu.
Yeah, and what I like to do, Ipe, is normally I won't go so heavy on like if I create a sub page, right, that's linking back to like my chiropractor page or back to my lead gen page, I'll do something different, like fun things while to do in Charlottesville, VA, and then fun activities to do while in Charlottesville, VA. And then if you haven't been to Charlottesville, VA as of late, you're missing out, blah, blah, blah. Member highlight, and then I'll do a member highlight, right? And then I'll just do the same thing. Google, I'll do my URL, my name, address, phone number, another keyword going back to my CID, which is going to only increase the value of my GMB. And then I'll do a direction request, right? This is Blogspot. We've been on Blogspot. You probably backlinked to them before. You can create a free website and just enter in your information. And it's only going to help the validity of, getting your...
I think you can stick a lot of these links inside a YouTube description as well.
For sure. Absolutely.
What's the thing you mentioned about API? Like, I don't quite understand like where and why you need an API. Didn't you just go to directions inside Google?
Yeah, so I just went into directions inside Google, but my buddy Chaz, he was telling me, he's like, when you do this stuff, normally you're gonna have to create a Google API account to do this. And that's where I got stuck, because I was making all these direction requests and they weren't sticking. And I talked to the Google rep and I talked to him. They're like, you have to make a Google API account. This is a paid service. And then he was like, well, it's not really a paid service. if you can just come in here and share and embed the map. That's something that they don't want you to do because they're not using Google short links anymore. Okay. So you can come in here and do this.
So as long as you just go there into what you just showed, then you don't have to worry about the API thing.
Exactly.
Okay, dope.
Exactly, and that'll save a huge headache because I'm not that technically proficient. I don't even know what API means. I just remember that day I was pounding my head against the screen and I'm just like, yo, this isn't working. I got to figure out a way to do this without, killing myself and giving myself a huge migraine. And it was just as simple as coming over here, getting that direction from somewhere in your town, getting it right back to your address of your lead gen site. And again, your name of the lead gen site right there too. Coming in here, getting your embed map, boom, and then just getting that and then being able to publish it. And I use this across multiple websites. As you can see, right here, I have multiple direction requests on multiple different websites, and it's only helped my GMB increase in ranking. If it didn't help, I wouldn't be sharing it with you. You know what I'm saying? Like it just wouldn't be worth it, but it's only helped me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think the moral of the story is, like Google, it's like a foot race, and like whoever's doing just a little thing extra is gonna it's just gonna climb up that rankings that much faster.
Yep.
And you'll stay up there once you're at the top, because these are the little tedious things that your competitors are not doing. It's what you call barrier to entry, right? Like you don't want a business to be so easy that anybody can just duplicate and do, because then you'll be competing with everybody else. You want a business where it's got a barrier, it's got certain technical things that other people don't know about, certain tips and tricks that you can wield in your business, because then that's going to separate you from competitors, and it's going to keep your business more long-term. So yeah, that's fire stuff.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So this next tip is about creating a website on the Google platform. And this is separate from your actual lead generation website, but it's inside the GMB setting. It's a fairly new feature, but doing these additional things we have tested and proven helps with the GMB ranking. So here's the next tip.
So I started back in this around 2008, 2009-ish. I've tried everything under the sun. I'll be honest with you, I've literally tried everything under the sun. But if I get back down to just the logical way that a GMB is designed and the way that a company like a Google thinks, I want to explain it to you because it might help you in some of the moves you make. So think about Google, right? They go dump a ton of money into this platform, Google Local, right? They make these upgrades to Google Places, like when I got involved. Those updates essentially made it much more robust. It made it much more user-friendly. Right off the bat with Google, you need to understand that if they put money into a platform, you have to understand is they want user adoption, okay? None of the products they make, if you really think about Google and all the products they make these pretty dope products that they let you use for free that compete with things that cost money oftentimes, okay? Right, we see that with like Google Sheets, is a Google Docs, right? These are like, it's like the Microsoft entire suite, but it's on Google's platform. It says all you gotta have is a Gmail account and you're good to use it, right? So going back to the GMB and what Greg's teaching you of how to put these little landing pages up and why they're important. The main reason why something like this is important, if you really want to get down to brass tacks, the most important thing for Google is that you utilize their platform. And when you utilize their platform to its full extent, you get rewarded for it. So let's think about it, right? When you have a Google local guide, if you don't know what a Google local guide is, it's someone that writes a lot of reviews. They take pictures of locations, they upload them in, and they kind of contribute to this this ecosystem, if you will. So when we tell you, or when Greg tells you, like, hey, make sure you use as many words as you can in the summary. Make sure that you list all your different services. Use it to its full extent. The reason why I'm saying this is because Google rewards you for those things. And so when you see Google put out these little they're crappy looking, but it doesn't matter. We're not doing it necessarily for the traffic that it's going to bring us, okay? That's not why we're doing it. We're doing it to appease Google in the money they spent on their platform and show them that we actually get value. We derive value out of it. We use the platform. When they bring out something new, we don't just not listen like a lot of people do and just keep doing what they're doing. We go and we add these things to our repertoire. Okay? So generally speaking, you don't have to do it, but as a rule of thumb, if you want to be on the receiving end of gifts, better rankings, better placements, you name it, then you must take it seriously when you build out your GMB properties by really spending the time necessary to show Google that you appreciate the platform. I know it sounds silly, but this is how they roll.
All right, in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to take advantage of a free website that Google is going to provide you. So to get there, the easiest thing to do is go ahead and just click website. And it's going to go ahead and start a website. It may bring up a little pop-up module, just click continue. And what it's going to do is it's going to pull any information, excuse me, from your Google My Business listing, and it's going to populate it right into this. So it will pull in photos that we add. It will put in reviews. Excuse me. It will also, if you've ever had posts or anything else like that, it will add all of this in here. Now, when you're setting it up, you can go through and have the option of choosing what kind of theme. Every time you go through these and set these up, these themes are going to show up a little bit differently, and they may offer you different themes based upon the different kind of business that you have. We're going to go ahead and click retro, and then you have to hit the check mark to lock it in. Next thing I'm going to do is going to go ahead and click on edit, and in here, you've got a lot of different options. This is kind of the meat and potatoes of this listing. So we want to we want to drive, because ideally we want to use this to put in a feature that they're not actually showing up in this particular Google My Business listing at the moment, but sometimes your listing will have a secondary URL option for setting appointments. And so when you want to take the URL that they give you once this is published, and you want to put it into that particular location within the GMB. But we don't necessarily want to use their make appointment feature, right, and drop an appointment link in here. What we want is to contact us. We want to drive phone calls. That's always the goal here. So we're gonna go ahead and leave it as contact us. And then here, this can be anything you want. So we can leave it as our business name, Ames Promo Kings, which for branding purposes, I'm going to go ahead and leave as the headline. Now, here we can also change it around. So it gives you like a limited, let's see. I don't remember. It's making it super long. Excuse me. So you can add some additional keywords in here. We could say promotional product supplier and screen printer in Ames, Iowa. We'll leave it like that. It's auto-populating the hours that we've already listed as open. And then we're going to have a header section down below. I'm going to go ahead and grab the content that I'd already written before. I'm going to drop it into the summary body. And we should see it populate down here. So our summary header that we're going to add is so we capped out here.
needs. There we go. Business that needs promo products? Short question. All right. So now we have our summary body. So this is content. Now, I have not seen a limit yet on the amount of content that you can put in here. And that is fantastic. Because what that means is you can put a couple thousand words of content in here if you'd like. You can take all the content. Let's say you take all the, the content of your website and have it rewritten a little bit so that it's not just straight up copied and pasted, and put it all in here. And now you've basically, you're telling Google that this GMB is, and this little additional website that goes with it, is synonymous with all these things, right? You're also building your branding into it, like here, the Ames Promo Kings. Now, you also can add these links in. So we can link this to whatever we want to link it to. If we want to link it to citations, or like key properties that you have built out. It could be like Facebook pages, could be pages on your website. And that's one of the ways I use it all the time. So we might have like, services offered, and then go in here and say, okay, we got, this is stupid because I'm just naming off stuff here, but mugs, business cards, whatever. Okay, so then think about your website. Maybe every one of these has its own page. Okay, so now I can link this to that page on the website, and I can link this one to that page on the website. So you're essentially just telling Google that this is synonymous with your other website property as well. But this gives you a lot more functionality, a lot of things that you can do as far as content and as far as linking goes. And these things are very, very powerful. Right? I'm just letting you know that up front. These little Google websites are super powerful with local ranking. So whenever you're done, do not forget to go up here and click your check mark. And another thing that we can do, should have done it beforehand, but we could say, give us a call today. And you can link this to your phone number using this right here, TEL : 2 / and then the phone number that they're supposed to call. Click OK. And then if they click that, it's going to see if it'll let me. Yeah. Do we want to allow that to open the tel link with Skype? So I'm going to say no. But this gives you a click to call feature in addition to what's already up here with this button up here. Now, you can change out your header photo. You can add additional photos. It's kind of strange to me that it didn't already pull in the 3 photos that we dropped into the GMB, but it certainly will. And it might pull them in after it's published. But we're going to go ahead and just click the check mark here. Go here. We can upload gallery images. Let's see what other options it gives us here. Since your site isn't published yet, use some tips. You can change the language out, and we can go ahead and say we're going to publish now. Or up here, generally, let's see, let me refresh this. Yeah, gives you the option to publish. Now, here it's going to pull in keywords and stuff, thinking like it's gonna pull in what it thinks you want. You got a couple different options that I would inform you to do. Either go with just your brand, okay, and keep it synonymous with your brand, or go for gusto and go with that primary keyword. Okay, so could be promotional product supplier in Ames. Doesn't matter, right? We'll just click change, right? And then I could publish this right here. I can do that. It's going to say, great, you're on the web. Cheers. Business is now online. It's going to ask you if you want to buy the domain. No, don't want to buy it. It is live, but for whatever reason, it's given us that. So let's try it again. They're being mean to us, or Google's just having an issue at the moment. But this right here, always take this crap out. This is your URL. So you can copy it at that point, and then you can go in and you can build links to that. You can link to it off of your website. If you have an option of in here, this is what I was telling you before. If you have an option in here of oh, look at that, they just went ahead and filled it in. If you have an option in here of a appointment link, that's where you would put that. So we're going to go ahead and change this to Ames Promo Kings. So that would be our primary website. And if we had a secondary URL link right here, we would go ahead and drop that URL into there. And then it would actually show up here, like, with this lady's listing that we looked at a little bit ago. This is the main link for her website. And then if it said accepts appointments or book an appointment, then it would be down here. And that's where it would show up in this particular feature as well. All right, I think that covers it in terms of how to utilize your free website that they provide you. Let's see if it's showing up yet. There we go. So you can see I'm not a liar. It will publish. They just sometimes are cranky. So this is what it looks like so far. You can see what the link pulls up like. So it's not pretty, it's ugly, but these little things are powerful.
All right, hope you guys like that little tip. The last thing I want to mention is that, where your website is ranked in Google is still one of the main factors of where your GMB is ranked. So like I have a lot of #1 ranked GMBs, but my website is also ranked #1. And oftentimes my website would rank first and then my GMB would follow, right? Obviously, like reviews and other things play a factor too, but there's multiple factors at play when it comes to GMB rankings. To dominate in Google Maps, you actually have to become really good at ranking your website as well, which our coaching program teaches. So if you're interested in learning more, even if you're a small business owner, we have a process, an easy to follow process that even small business owner that has no technical background can follow. To find more info on that coaching, click on the link in the description, and I'll see you on the flip side. Thank you.